Okay, well, hello everyone. It's Renee Liao here back again. I thought I'd try this green background. That would be fitting for, of course, the video, which is about Fountain of Life. And really quickly, the reason why I'm doing this video is because I got so many people who are asking me if I could do a video that showed a lot of the, I guess, testimonials and benefits of people who are using Fountain of Life. So for those who don't know, I'm going to share my screen here because on the Facebook page for Fountain of Life, you can see that there is, this is the main page where, of course, you have all of the different customers who will be putting in their testimonials, on this page here. So if you're not already on this page and you want to read more testimonials, go to Fountain of Life official up here, and again you can scroll down and just go over a ton and tons of different kind of stories here. One quick shortcut for those who don't know is if you want to like search up, for example, like alopecia, like this customer, you can actually search in this little search field and type in alopecia, and you will see, of course, different testimonials of people who had alopecia. But of course, because it's been, this group here has grown so big and there's so many people posting on here, and you have a lot of different, of course, we have our scientists responding to some of the questions on this page here. It gets quite lengthy. So people are asking me, Renee, can you make a quick video that just shows some of the key testimonials? So I had that here for you guys today, and really quickly going to run through some of the amazing testimonials of people who were using Fountain of Life. And of course, don't forget, as a disclaimer, the Fountain of Life is not a cure or treatment for any ailments or diseases. It's simply a high performance antioxidant. And the both stories are again taken from the Fountain of Life official Facebook page. So one of the key benefits with Fountain of Life is because it can balance your hormones. For a lot of men, we lose our hair because we have too much of the DHT hormone. So it's actually a photo of myself. This is about February of 2018, and about 7 weeks later, you can see here my hair used to be much more thinning, and it thins because when there's too much DHT hormone in the males, it goes into the hair follicle and slowly shrinks the hair follicle over time, so it doesn't regrow properly. By balancing your hormones, so to get rid of the DHT, but to keep the good stuff, which is the testosterone, it allows your hair to grow back much more stronger. So you can see even in the video, my hair now has grown back a lot more stronger and much more thicker, of course, after using Fountain of Life. So like myself, many people here, again, just using the products for, about, a few weeks, having those big differences in their receding hairlines or the bald spots before. Again, different testimonials. And again, if you go into Google hair in the Facebook page, you will see again a lot of the different testimonials again too. So this gentleman here took it for about 1.5 months, again about 6-7 weeks, and had great success as well too. Now, even for females who approach, the menopause time frame, or if they have hormonal balance, again, it does cause a lot of hair loss. So a lot of women have experienced much amazing benefits with reduced hair loss, a lot reduced of hot flashes. So it's great for men and for women to basically balance your hormones from within. All right. So now in this case here, this client has alopecia, which is different than the, I guess, the hormonal issue hair loss. Alopecia is more like an immune system, an autoimmune system issue. And so because Fountain of Life is great at boosting the immune system, which of course is going to be great for the current COVID, situation to boost the immune system, you can see here after about 3 or 4 months, that hair just really grew back, and they're so happy, these customers. Now, again, typically alopecia might be a little small, kind of like a loony toony size on the head. And again, a few months later, again, just by taking FOL, it's now gone. This gentleman here was the one you just saw on the previous Facebook screen, where a very severe case of alopecia. And I know that, again, after about 5 months and 5 bottles of Fountain of Life later on, you see amazing benefits of his hair. And he also lost a lot of weight in that process as well, too. Again, so you can see here that, slowly, a lot of the hairs are not growing out on the sides, again, after using the products for some weeks there. And here's another a lady here that had a lot more thinning hair at the back of her head, even on top, and now it's like a huge difference of before and after, with her hairline much more filled in, the back of the hair, again, just solid, great hair growth as well too. So she even took the drops and massaged it onto her scalp as well. We had some customers that had a lot more darker hair growing versus the white hair as well too. And of course, Lisa here, again, typically hair takes a long time to grow for some people, perhaps because of bleaching issues on actually the Bachelor for Canada. And usually hair grows about half an inch every month. After taking the product for just 3 weeks, the hair grew by more than 1 inch. So it's really amazing how it's great for growing your hair. I find my nails grow really quickly, grow a lot more stronger. I had a broken toe. Again, the nail ripped off completely, and now the nail is back fully. And it's a really, really great product as well too. Um, for those who don't know, Fountain of Life is also anti-inflammatory. So here, this customer has a big inflammation in her knee. After taking one full dropper of Fountain of Life, but also rubbing it topically on her knee. So Fountain of Life can be used topically as well as internal use, which you should. But just 1 hour after, you can see the massive difference between before and after with the knee. So again, from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., the redness is gone. And again, by the early morning, pain is a zero that morning. So it's really fantastic for anyone that has any kind of like this inflammation, body pains, arthritis, chronic pain, migraines. It's just wonderful for that because it's anti-inflammatory. This gentleman, I actually met myself personally in Singapore. He came to me, he could barely walk because he had gout. Gout is often related to like high uric acid in your body, and so his ankle. This is actually his ankle with his slipper was really inflamed. He was limping, and I basically put a full dropper into his mouth and rubbed about 4 drops onto his ankle. Did this presentation of stories. And 30 minutes later, he looked down and he couldn't believe that his pain was almost gone. And of course, inflammation had reduced substantially. So it's really great. And the key thing with Fountain of Life, though, is it works so quickly because when you put it under your tongue, within like an hour, it's already into your bloodstream. So unlike other products that are in pill forms or like capsules or things that just swallow into your stomach, it takes a long time to absorb. Fountain of Life in 1 hour, it's like boom, it's into your bloodstream. Again, this is another lady, Sonia Wilson from Toronto, actually a retired nurse here. But again, she had gout, a lot of inflammation, and within just 5 days, again, you can see the massive difference of her foot before and afterwards. Now because it's anti-inflammatory, it is fantastic for type 2 diabetes because for those who don't know, oftentimes when you have high cholesterol, it creates a lot of inflammation in your body. And the high inflammation over a long period of time makes it hard for your cells to basically use the insulin that your body produces. So you become insulin resistant because of the inflammation. And of course, you produce more insulin because your body's thinking you don't have enough insulin. So sugar levels go up higher. But when you can reduce the inflammation, now your body is much more effective in the cells at using the insulin to convert, the sugar into energy. So really quickly, people's sugar levels start to drop. Francine here, different countries have different measurements, but from like 259 down to 210, that's amazing. For Carmen, from 12 and 15 sugar levels after 13 days down to an 8, and there are like so many stories of people that have diabetes. It is fantastic to have Fountain of Life because it helps tremendously for that. Again, Len here, you can see here when you have with diabetes, typically your skin is also not very good. And you can see here that just after about July 18th to about October 5th, skin is much more healthier. Len also lost a lot of weight, and he's just looking a lot much better nowadays too. Now, sorry for the bit of the grotesqueness of these images, but this gentleman here, Joseph, is from Singapore, and he's been diabetic from a very young age of 21, and he's now 52 years old. And of July of last year, a bad, basically on his foot, he was almost about to be amputated. So basically had to get cut off. But after 2 days of taking Fountain of Life, 30 drops twice a day for 2 days, so total 120 drops, it quickly reversed the redness, the swelling, and the bad smell on his leg, and the amputation was called off. So again, it's amazing how this is so quick. I mean, look at that foot here. Here's a zoom up here. Again, May 7th, you can see all that yellow-ish dead skin. May 7th, sorry, that's a July 5th, July 15th, July 18th, July 26th, and then August and August 6th. Basically 1 month later, you can see his foot's looking a lot better. Again, they are taking it orally and also rubbing it topically on the skin as well too. So again, this is an amazing product for anyone that you know that has diabetes, because there's over what, 1 billion people with diabetes. And over the next 10 years, there will be a shortage apparently of the insulin production for diabetic people. This lady here was 91 years of age, and again, she almost had to get her toe cut off to be amputated. And between November the 30th and December the 4th, they called off the amputation because, again, she took Fountain of Life orally and used it directly on the open wound, and really quickly it reduced the inflammation. The antioxidants can heal it, and of course the antimicrobial keeps the bad bacteria away. So it's really amazing product here. We have a lot of people, for example, Malia, that had a very poor kidney strength, and her kidney function, basically the eGFR was down to about 10%, borderline sort of going on dialysis, which is, I guess, the cleaning of the blood. And being on Fountain of Life, you can see here that her eGFR went from 10% over the next 5 months to over 21%. So, I'm so happy for Leah. She's here in Toronto. I see her quite often. Her hair looks great, stopped having cavities, her kidney is doing really well, and she looks like a whole different person again after being on Fountain of Life for almost a year now. So Colleen here, amazingly, she was actually partially blind, eyes about 12.25 and 12 before. 1 month after taking Fountain of Life, and she went back to her optometrist for a checkup, and her eyes actually got better. So a lot of people are actually reporting that, when before they had to have glasses or they had blurry vision when reading their cell phone at night, they don't need to wear the glasses or they have this blurry vision anymore. It's fantastic, Neil here was actually colorblind due to an accident when he was younger, couldn't see red and blue, and now he can actually just see, basically, the colors came back basically. So now he just can't see partially red, but the blue came back, which is amazing for him. Callie here had lumps in her breast, and after doing a biopsy months later on, the lumps were actually gone. So it's again, there's so much research on how FOL is like anti-tumor. Again, I'll include a link for that in this video at the very end as well too. It's great for dementia. This lady here was a mother who couldn't recognize her children, and couldn't even hold a cup of water properly. And within 3 months, basically, she showed great improvement. She knew how to say she was full and that she wasn't hungry. 10 days later, she got up and even helped, her helper cook a meal for her husband. So, they're really shocked at the improvement in her. And again, we have a lot of research on why lignans are great for dementia. Excuse me. A lot of talking here. Now, another great study that came out on the British Journal of Nutrition back in May of 2018 on the 7-hydroxymytyrosol, which is the main lignin that you're going to find on every bottle of Fountain of Life over a 2-month period of high-fat subject people, was that the people, all of them, experienced a 13% decrease in body weight, so great for losing weight. 18% loss of visceral fat, which is, I guess, overall like body fat all over your body. The liver showed lower fat deposits of 65%, while the bad cholesterol, the LDL cholesterol, dropped by 23%. So a lot of people here are experiencing, I guess, lead fat on their bodies. They're losing weight, and it's a great benefit of taking Fountain of Life. And so you can see here that at the same time, it's been really helpful at reducing people's blood pressure. So this person here in Claudine was about 195/75, and even taking, medication, it never really went below 125 without her medication. But now, after just being on it for about 3 weeks, February 28th to March the 8th, her blood pressure was 115/60, which is fantastic. This person here actually was very, very diligent, and they actually track daily their blood pressure. It started off at 165/96, I think it is. And it starts to go down, a bit up, a bit down, a bit up, a bit down, a bit up, a bit down. But over about 2 months, from 165, it's gone down to 128/70, which is amazing, again, for helping maintain the blood pressure. Of course, because of the study, a lot of people have been losing weight, and Sanaz here lost probably about 60 or more pounds as well too. Callie here lost a lot of weight, about at least 30 pounds, and probably even more because I've seen her recently on Facebook looking even better now. Myself personally, I used to be a lot more, I guess, fat on the cheeks and on the stomach. I lost 13 pounds in a few short months. And of course, and there's so many of these stories, but Nora here, she lost her belly, of course, by being on the product. It's like a nice side benefit of taking like a nutritional health product, and you have all these other side benefits like losing weight and better hair as well too. This person here had thyroid condition, and 10 months later, again, just really, it's just gone now. We have some people that actually had a stroke and really couldn't move. And after, I guess, taking it for well, they feel a lot more better, they can sort of think better and can start to move around a lot more as well too. This person here had athlete's foot, which is, basically really itchy feet, and just basically two drops a day later, and really great at healing the skin and stopping that itch. This person here had, I guess, like a foot infection by stepping on glass, on water, and basically just put 3 drops into each area, and 4 days later, it's like boom, massive healing for the skin. So again, FOL can be used topically, again, all over your body. This person here, again, had an odd skin disease. Skin wouldn't really grow back, and just a few months later, because they knew later skin are growing for them. This is eczema over here, the first pick. The second pick is 2 days later, and the third pick here is 1 week after. So anyone that has eczema, again, you want to get onto Fountain of Life, and of course, you want to start using it not just internally in drinking it, but also rubbing it onto the areas that have the impacted area, skin. Again, this gentleman here, again, eczema. 1 week later, here's 4 days. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. You just see here, it really dries up that eczema and starts to heal it very well as well too. This person here had a massive leg injury, like a steel beam basically fell on their shins here. So, from May 15, May 25th, June 2nd, June 11th, you see, just by putting FOL directly on the wound, it heals it very quickly. This person here had a hole in their feet, I guess from stepping on a nail, and they would actually put FOL into the hole that wasn't growing properly. And from October 24th to November the 4th, again, a lot of the skin is just healing out, it's growing out. So this is just a phenomenal product here. Again, for blisters, more eczema, again, just like 5 weeks after using FOL on the eczema. For sunburns, it's great. I got sunburn on a cruise. I was in the lake and in the ocean the whole day long, and usually get that peeling on the skin, that really painful touch. I put FOL at least 3-4 times a day, and it kept that pain away, and the peeling really never came. I peeled very little given the severity of the actual sunburn. This head injury, again, about 7 days later, really healed that head injury as well too. This gentleman had, I guess, sort of blemishes on his face, just 1 drop on each cheek. You can see here about 3 weeks later, a much better skin tone and skin complexity, and of course, less blemishes. Steph here had contact dermatitis. Again, you can see here what a massive difference it was from before and after now. Great for cold sores, fantastic at migraines. I personally used to get a lot of migraines like once every 2-3 months, and now FOL, I might get it like once every 6 months, once a year, but I find that when they do come, the severity of the pain and the length of the pain is a lot shorter than before. People sleep a lot better because antimicrobial. If you ever have like bad food, or you have like an upset stomach, or you ate something rotten, like, I don't know, like bad oysters, for example, pump FOL inside of it, and you'll find that it really helps to, I guess, kill all that bacteria in the back of your stomach, and can really stop the I guess the vomiting, and of course just get you from having that bad sickness overnight. So I love using FOL for that as well too. This gentleman here had, again, I guess, mouth bacteria. Again, documented it very carefully over a few weeks here. And for myself, my cholesterol went down 223 down to 203, as I had done in Taiwan. My own blood test results here. I had high monocytes, which is the white blood cells, like inflammation, is down to 4.8%. My own sugar, I was surprised, was 101, which is pre-diabetic. I was freaking out. I went down to 93 afterwards. My uric acid was 7.3. It's now down to 6.2, which is great because, in Asia, we eat a lot of seafood, and of course, we like to drink a lot. So it's great. It's not great that you should be taking it to keep it down, but it does help, right? So you get my point. And of course, when you typically drink, you have a bit of fatty liver. So my liver was 32, 38, the fat and the SGOT, SGPT, and now 7 months later, it's like 20 and 18, like a massive difference, right? So, I mean, that really is just a very short example of the different testimonials that I want to show you today. And last but not least, the reason why it's so effective again is because it just really does absorb really quickly into your bloodstream, and it's just jam-packed with lignans. So it's just it's very hard to eat that many lignans, because again, to get 50 to 100 milligrams per day, which is what the scientists basically recommend, to show you, you want to get about 50 milligrams per day of lignans. That's about one full dropper of Fountain of Life. And one full dropper is equivalent to like 308 cups of oatmeal. You can't eat that much oatmeals. Or it's like 17 times more lignans than the flaxseed. And you can't eat that many flax seeds anyways, right? So, in short, it's just very effective. And again, I hope that this video has given you guys some more insight to understand, why FOL is so powerful. And again, I will include the link at the bottom of the video to just the scientific research and medical studies to back up, why it helps in all these different areas. And to show you really quickly, the link I'm going to be sharing with you is going to show you really quickly so you understand what it looks like. It's a link to my Google Drive. And really quickly, it's called Lignans the One document. You can see here that basically I found all this cool medical studies and research on PubMed, which is the US National Library of Medicine, plus many other research websites on all these different factors. You can see on my screen here, and why, or the studies that show it does help with these different areas. So that being said, again, I thank you for watching my video. Again, this was to be part 2 of the first video, which was explaining what is Fountain of Life in more details. But again, thanks for watching and have a great time. All the best. Bye-bye.